Yeah, celebrated my son's 4th birthday. It was awesome.
Good for you.
Thank you.
Hey, Eric, are you disappointed that you haven't been involved as much this year? Maybe like kind of like last year, and maybe why that might be.
Yeah, I can't answer that one. You gotta ask that to one of the coaches.
You did get involved on, you had a rushing touchdown last time you guys were out there. How did that play develop? Is that part of the Matt Canada offense, kind of doing some unconventional things to get involved?
Yeah, they called a play that had my number on it. We executed it, scored a touchdown.
You've done it a few other times in your career, though. Is that something you like to do to get involved?
I just think it's a play it's really good. I didn't hit it. It wasn't my play. It wasn't my design. It just was brought to our attention. And I've always liked the play because we do a lot of motions and shifts, and it fits to what we're doing right now. So I didn't know it was gonna. You never know what the play's gonna turn out to be like. But just happy, it gave us a little momentum there. So that was good.
I look at your career rushing stats, and it's like 5 carries, 3 touchdowns, -6 total yards. How did that happen?
Yeah, I had a fumble, man. We were playing Jacksonville when they called the wrong play, but the play was designed for me. And even though it was the wrong play, we knew it was the wrong play. I still had to do it. Miles Jack flipped me up in the air, man. That ball flew out. He got a little ways away. I think I was up like 15 yards, but he pulled all that away with that fumble. So I'll take the touchdowns over the yards.
You want to get back in the positives, though?
Yeah, hopefully a jet sweep or something, I'll be good.
Eric, do you see the offense evolving each week? Where is it right now? Where do you think it could go?
Man, I honestly believe that we have some of the most talented players on this team. I feel like our offense should be really dominant. So hopefully it gets there. That's really all I have to say.
I feel like the tight ends are going to be getting involved even more now with Juju out.
We hope so. We hope so. We do.
What do you like about the other guys in the room and what they?
Oh man, I love our room. I love our tight end room. I think we are all so talented. I think we all bring so much to the table. I think to be a rookie, I think he's phenomenal. I didn't have the mental mindset Pat does. He just turned 23 today, so happy birthday to my guy. I love that little dude. And I just think that Zach, he's put so much work into getting better, man. And you, as an older guy, you love to see people want us fulfill and be good at something, because nowadays people just quit or give up, and it seems to be like the easy thing to do. And he's just dedicated so much time to it. And Raider, he busts his tail, and you could just feel like he can literally be on a 53-man roster somewhere else. And to just be the older guy in the room, the veteran guy, it's an honor to just watch these guys grow and eventually keep track of their careers, and hopefully they flourish.
Eric, beyond Pat's mental mindset that you mentioned, what is it you like about him, and does he come pick your brain?
Yeah, man, Pat asks me more questions than anybody. It's like my third child. He's a student of the game, and you rarely use that term with a lot of people. He's very young. You understand that, but he's a student of the game. And yes, he picks my mind. I offer him a lot of detail because I've played against a lot of these teams. I've played against a lot of our opponents, and try to help him separate his physical from his mental, because this league is more about mental than it is physical. And as we can see, Pat is physically gifted. So we just try to continue to keep him headstrong. This is a long season. We just had a bye week. We got 11 straight games. So my job is to try to keep him as mentally strong as I can for the 11 games.
Where is this team mentally coming out of the bye? You guys even at 500 right beforehand. What kind of energy do you
I just think that's anytime you can go into the bye with a win, whether it was going to 500 or whatever, it gives you a boost of momentum as you're getting healthy. Food starts to taste better, rehab feels a little bit better. So it's just a positive thing. And with injuries and with health and with anything, you need positivity. So I just think that it was great for us to have that and go into it with positive energy.
How much did you like the way last season ended? As kind of maybe heighten things between the Steelers and the Browns going forward?
We'll see them on Sunday at 1 o'clock. And they whooped our ass at our home and sent us home. So if y'all can't get motivated for that, shouldn't probably be playing football.
Did you catch the Bengal game yesterday? Did that get your attention?
Yeah. We knew the Bengals were good. I mean, we knew the Ravens are good too. Two teams that one just got the upper hand that day. We play these teams. We play the Ravens twice. We owe Cincinnati here in a couple weeks. So hopefully, we bring our A game because they're not looking like they're falling off any.
After that Browns loss, the way that things ended last year, I mean, how much reflecting were you guys doing as a team, or thinking about that? It's your AFC rival that ends here.
Yeah.
All the things that go into it.
Again, if you can't wake up that morning and be pumped up for that game, you probably shouldn't be playing football. I mean, any team that sends you home in your division, that's you better come with it. That's really it. So.
Eric, you developed a nice relationship last year with Ben. You ever get in a huddle, go, hey, Ben, remember me over here?
Nah, man, Ben's a veteran, man, and you just hope that what you put on tape, people see. And I've been putting a lot of good stuff on tape, and you just hopefully, they recognize it. And there's no need for me to say anything, man. My reputation is I'm always saying something. So for me this time, I'm not going to say anything, and I'm going to just continue to let my tape and my coaches work for me.
That room, yours, seems like, I think Gentry said the other day, we have different strengths. Is it just a matter of trying to fit what goes where at this point, or are you guys past that already? You already know?
Yeah, I mean, I think you do that in training camp, where you try to figure out which pieces go where. I don't think you do that in the season. I think we are where we are, and that's just how it's going to be. So I don't think that we're any different right now or trying to figure things out. I just think that we need to go ahead and just continue to just motivate our offense and just keep it pushing.
From what you know about Ben and the relationship that you guys have, how much do you think the way that last year ended with that loss in the playoffs motivated him to come back this year at his point?
Yeah, I mean, Ben's a Hall of Famer. You can never knock anything about, Ben Roethlisberger. When I was a kid, Ben was my favorite quarterback. So, I mean, it's nothing that I can say, do, or anything. I just come out here and try to do whatever it is that we do. At the end of the day, he's the QB. Our offense coordinator is the offense coordinator, and I just want to come out here and execute my job at the end of the day. And I just hope that everybody comes out here and wants to do the same thing.
Chris, was last week the way you guys gave up the rushing yards, was that kind of maybe a good wake-up call before a game against the Browns? Like, hey, we better tighten things up a little bit here.
Yeah, I think watching the film, that was definitely the most glaring thing, is especially those first two drives coming out of the second half. I think we held them to like 18 yards that first half, and then another 100 plus the second half. So I think being more attentive to details is going to be our biggest thing. We did that a little bit last week with our practice, kind of focusing on that. But yeah, when you have a team like Cleveland that's run first, that's going to be our biggest challenge this week, is to stop the run with the back like Chubb.
What kind of adjustments do you have to make after looking at the film and saying, like, okay, we need to change X, Y, and Z to make sure that you're not giving up the middle part of the knee?
Yeah, I think the biggest thing is just communication and being on those details. We know the plays, we know where to fit, but when the line moves, when things change like that, we have certain plays for this and this. It's more so of us being in the right space, and if we're in the right gaps, I think a lot of those rushing yards that we had gave up against Seattle wouldn't be there. So that's what we're looking to do against Cleveland this week.
Chris, I don't know how much you've seen of Cleveland. Is there anything you have seen that sticks out about their line to you?
Yeah, they're big, they're physical. They can move people off the ball when you're not ready for it. And like I said, as a defensive lineman, that's going to be our biggest challenge this week, is stopping the run. With guys like Conklin, guys like Bitonio, those guys have been in the league a long time and they play great ball. So we're going to have to stop the run if we want to win the game.
What's the biggest thing you remember that stands out to you from that wild card game against them last year?
I mean, just how fast they started. They got up on us, I think, maybe 28-0 in the first quarter, and you're kind of sitting there like, damn, what just happened? We have 3 quarters left of this game. And if it wasn't for that first quarter, I think things would have been different. But I think the biggest thing was just that shock value of we're down 4 scores and it's the first quarter. So we're not trying to do that this week for sure.
As a player, is that a game that you just kind of flush, or do you let something like that motivate you throughout the offseason and even this week and getting ready to play them again?
Yeah, especially if it was our playoff game we lost, that's going to stick with us for the next 8 months until we put on the pads for camp. So I've been thinking about it a lot. I know a lot of the other guys have been thinking about it, and we're trying to right that ship this week, Sunday.
Go ahead.
You can play for obviously a couple of teams in the division. What's your impression of the way the division is played here through 7 games, quality of play?
Yeah, I think it's the most competitive division in the league. You saw the game yesterday with Cincinnati and Baltimore. Cincinnati's looking good. Obviously, Baltimore's looking good. We're coming back strong, and Cleveland has lost a couple games, but they're looking good too. So it's, like I said, it's probably the most competitive division in the league, and week in and week out, you got to win, and especially a game like this when it's against a division opponent, we got to get these wins.
Did Seattle surprise you guys at all coming out in the second half with their desire to stick to the run, down 14 points? I mean, is that part of the equation there as well?
No, I think we knew that's what they were trying to come in and do. But we weren't ready those first couple drives, and I think that's what really got us and put us back together. It was 14-14, I think, in that third quarter, and we had to kind of tighten up a little bit. We did it in that fourth quarter, but it was almost a little too late for us to do that.
Gave up like 32 yards outside of the third quarter. It was 110 in the third quarter.
Yeah.
So do you look at that as, okay, it was one bad quarter or it was a bad game?
I mean, you could look at it both ways. You could look at it as, okay, we had Alex Collins run for 120 yards or whatever it was, or we could say, okay, this was just that third quarter, these few plays, especially those first 2 drives. Let's see what we can, more attention to detail on those couple drives, be in the right spot, right fit. I think that's what we've been doing these last couple practices.
I know it's only Monday, but are you guys kind of mentally preparing for Baker or for Case Keenum? And how much does that change things for them if Baker's not in there?
Yeah, I mean, Baker's their starter. I think he's a little more dynamic with his mobility. He likes to extend plays a little more and make those splash plays, and that's what he's done his career. But no matter who it is, we're going to be ready for either. Keenum's been in the league for a long time and has played solid ball his whole career, so we know what he can do. But we're just excited to get back in the field after this bye.
How much have you seen your younger guys like Isaiah, Henry, Montu? How much have you seen them take on the challenge of learning those adjustments, those communications? Where in the game you gotta be in the right spot.
Yeah, every time, especially Henry had that big sack against the Broncos. But anytime Milk is out there, you could see him improve. You could see him contributing to the team. He might get 15 snaps a game, but he's productive with it, and it's fun to see a guy, especially a rookie, take on that challenge and produce when he's out there.
Chris, there's been a lot of criticism of Devin. You think of the way that he's played. What's the confidence that you guys have in Devin?
I mean, it's essentially his second year, right? So he's still learning, but we have all the confidence in the world. Coming off of a major knee injury last year, I know I've had a few pretty big knee injuries, and it takes a little bit to come back to full strength. But I mean, people could say what they want. I think Devin's been playing well. I think he is doing what he's supposed to do, and it's less than midway through the season, so we have a whole 2/3 of the season left to go, and I'm excited for him to continue to progress.
Cam Hayward had
together, right?
Of course.
Well, I'm flipping it to a Buckeye. Cam Hayward had another big game Sunday night. I mean, being his teammate now for a year and a half, are there still things he does every game or whatever that kind of surprise you, or do you pretty much know what you're getting out of Cam night in and night out?
Well, that's the thing, is like you expect Cam to be what he is week in and week out, but that's a rarity when it comes to like a guy like me. I watched Cam when he was at Ohio State, and then when he got to the league, I watched him, and as a fan, now he's my teammate, and I'm still learning from him, still seeing what he does at such a high level, even though he's an old man.
He runs to the ball like
he runs to the ball, and I think that's what kind of separates him from a lot of guys, is just his effort, playing and play out, which makes him one of the best.